back with another Woo Child Wednesday. So this week, hopefully y'all are staying safe out there because this 2020 just is not gonna stop. It's June, and we've just had more in this year, I feel like, than all of last year, and it's just June, which is scary. So this week, in light of the issues going on right now with the George Floyd case, the riots and all that, I thought I would choose a Reddit post that I feel like is something that a lot of people are having to deal with during this time that concerns relationships. So let me start off by saying I 100% get what's going on and why people are so angry and so upset. And it's things like this that's the reason I have dated white men in the past. But as I've gotten older, I've just realized that I don't think that that's something that I personally can do. And let me explain very briefly why. Not that I have to, but when things like this happen, I don't want to have conversations explaining why it's bad. You get me? Like, I feel like if I'm dating somebody who's already my race, they already get it. They feel what I feel on a day-to-day basis. And I don't shout from the rooftops every time I experience some bit of racism, but I do. And I've done what people tell you to do. I went to school twice, got 2 degrees, have a career. I have a home. I've done the things that America tells you you're supposed to do to be treated as the good citizen that you are. And I still have times where I get mistreated, or I have times where there's microaggressions, or I have times where people assume things about me based off of the fact that I'm black. I have tattoos and red hair. I'm sure a lot of people look from the outside and think that I'm just some hood ass chick, okay? Which couldn't be further from the truth. But that is what it's like to be black in America. It's not really getting to have your own individuality. We get clumped together all the time. And that wouldn't be such a bad thing if we were clumped together for good shit, but we're clumped together for the bad things. And so it's just very frustrating. And so for me personally, it's not something that I want to have to deal with. And unfortunately, with the way the world is, this stuff happens a lot. And every time it happens, relationships are already difficult enough. I don't want that added layer for me personally. So the letter that I chose is one with a couple that's interracial and that are having some issues. So let's just get right into it. This ain't even about me. Let's talk about it. She's 26. He's 26 as well. They're both 26. I'm having a hard time accepting my boyfriend's views on race. I'm a woman of color and he's white. Child. Okay. I'll call him Ben. We met, hit it off, and have been together for 5 years. We do not live together, but are talking about moving in soon. Ben and I haven't always seen eye to eye when it comes to race, seeing as how he grew up in a very small town in a conservative state. Whenever something racist happened to me, I would mention and discuss it with him, and he would say things like, "Why are you so negative?" What? But over the years, escalated to, "Why do you focus on the bad? You're so full of hate. Why are you so hateful?" Never ever holding the racist people responsible, including his friends. This took a toll on me, and finally said that if he wanted to be with me, he needed to educate himself and stop blaming me and defending people's racist behavior. This conversation came after a particular night where we were sitting at a restaurant and a white couple asked to sit with us. We said yes. The white male looked at me and immediately proceeded to tell a story about visiting my home country and how they were so sure that the people they saw were involved in crime and kidnapping. Girl. The girl added that she could tell all those people wanted to rape her. He also proceeded to say that they stopped at a gas station where a bunch of black guys were hanging out, and that instantly convinced him that we all should conceal and carry. Sir. What? Again, none of the people in these stories did anything or said anything. They simply weren't white. I was extremely uncomfortable and asked my boyfriend to leave. When we left and I told him how comfortable it made me, he said he didn't see anything wrong with it. When I explained it to him, he said, "I always look for negative things and I am the hateful one. We can't even have a conversation with another couple, blah, blah, blah." after this event, I had the conversation above with him. Now, the whole George Floyd thing, I feel weird that he hasn't said anything about it on social media, especially since he's so active on it all the time. He said he likes to keep his social media neutral. I said, you don't keep it neutral when it comes to other controversial topics, and he got upset and said that I need to get off his ass about what he posts or doesn't. Girl. The reason it bothers me is because this has deeply affected all the people of color I know, and seeing how he is dating one, talking about marrying her, how can the things that negatively affect her community and people like her not affect him? I told him saying I'm negative when I explained my frustration over racism is gaslighting, and he just responded with, okay, what are you going to do about it? Sir, okay, this is insane. I feel like I need to end this relationship, but I cannot believe the man I've loved for so long is so cold-hearted and tone-deaf. And then she edited and said, we broke up, it's heartbreaking, I just wanted him to stand up for me, not even start conflict or confrontation, but a simple, that's not cool, don't say that, would have been enough. A new situation happened, same thing happened. When I got upset, he said I was making a big deal, we're done. I mean, girl. So let me start this off by saying that I do not believe that all interracial couples have this issue, and that there are white allies that get it or get it as much as they can. But these type of situations is why I said what I said. I can't deal with that. It is very important for you to have an understanding of the person that you're with from all directions, right? And I hate when people, the whole, I don't see color, girl, bye, okay? We are different, and that's cool. I don't think that we have to ignore the differences. I think you embrace the differences and be respectful of those differences, but I can't stand when I hear people say that you don't see color. What? I'm black. You don't see that? And being black, that's a large part of my existence. Being a woman is a large part of my existence. And so I need you to at least be empathetic with the things that I deal with as those two things. Because as a woman in society, I deal with a lot of bullshit. And as a black woman, I deal with a ton more on top of that. Okay? So she needed to break up with him. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. It wasn't going to work. And this is another thing. Sometimes there are people that fetishize dating people outside of their own race. And I'm not going to just say it's white people, because I think some black people do this too. We fetishize another race, and so you're dating that race. You're not dating the person. And that becomes a problem because they are a person. You're not just dating black skin, or you're not just dating, Puerto Rican skin, or you're not just dating Asian skin. There's a person under there. And being silent when you see shit going on that shouldn't go on is just as bad. Like, to not stand up for somebody when you see that things are being wrong. And I hate to, cannot believe that I'm about to quote Lil Nas X, but I saw a post from him the other day where he was talking about how this whole situation with the rioting is kind of like how bullying goes, okay? In that you'll see somebody getting bullied day after day, and you don't do shit about it. Nothing. You watch, you don't intervene, you don't do anything. When that person snaps, because everybody has their breaking point, when they snap and some shit happens, then it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you stood by. Prevention. We need some prevention of these situations. And for people who are saying, well, you should just do what the police say, and there have been instances of people dying in their house when they were at 2 o'clock in the morning asleep. Okay? It isn't even about that at this point. It isn't about whether or not black people resist arrest. Like, if resisting arrest leads to death, it should lead to death across the board. And that's just not what we're seeing. And that's a problem. Girl, I think she did the right thing. That would have been what I was going to say, is that's not going to work out. If you try to talk to him and he just kind of pushes aside how you're telling him that you're feeling, and this is a real thing, like, that shit hurts. When somebody treats you a certain way because of like some shit you don't have no control over, it hurts. It may not be something that you go sit at home and cry about, especially when it happens regularly enough that it just kind of becomes like, okay, that person's racist, let me avoid them and not ever go around them again. But it becomes tiresome. It becomes tiresome that you can't just be a person. And that it always has to be some shit attached to it that people are going to look at you negatively. And I'm proud to be black. Black is cool as shit. But it comes with so much. And for me, that's one of the added cons, I guess, to interracial relationships, especially with black and white, is that if that other person, and both of them actually don't have empathy for each other and for their experiences, it's not going to work. Just like with any other relationship. So, girl, yeah, that wasn't ever going to work. And you listen, you much better than me. And that's why I know God knows what he be doing, because he would never, me and that guy would never have been together, because I would have got him all the way together. You hear me? You gonna tell me that I'm being hateful when you are watching people be prejudiced against me in your face, and you just sit there and don't say shit? And I'm not even looking for you to get up and go fight nobody, but you just gonna sit there and then tell me that I'm the hateful one because I'm bothered by some shit that I should be bothered by? Bye. No, absolutely not. So I know we be with who we need to be with, because that would never have worked, like, ever. The first time some shit happened and he was nonchalant about it, or he couldn't, like, at least try to empathize, because he's never going to understand, right? He's never going to experience what she experienced. He's not. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. He is a white man in America. He got it made. He going to be good. Gucci. Not going to have those problems. So he's never going to be able to sympathize, because he's never going to know what it feels like, but he can empathize. And you talking about you want to marry her? You realize that your kids are going to be part black, and that they may not be white passing, and if they're not, then the shit that your girlfriend is telling you that she's dealing with, those kids are going to deal with. And you're not going to be able to help them because you don't know how to be empathetic, or you don't see an issue, which makes you part of the issue. Ugh. Okay, that's it. That's all. Let me not get myself worked up, because that kind of stuff makes me angry, just because it is hurtful, and you just have to find a way to muddle through, and that's what we do. You know, that I feel like as a culture, that's what black people do. We muddle through, and we find laughter in the bullshit. And let me say this for other people. Listen, when you see people posting funny things and trying to laugh, let them folks have that. Okay? Between Corona and now all of this ride and shit, people need to laugh. And if you want to be uptight and in your feelings 24/7 about all of these things, cool beans. You do that. You don't get to tell other people that they don't get to take a fucking break, because we need one. I need one daily, because it's heavy. It's just very, very heavy. So I promise next week I'm going to come back with a much more entertaining one, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to, one, state how I was feeling kind of about the whole George Floyd situation, and two, this is something that I feel like a lot of people are probably trying to figure out now, like, that are in interracial relationships. What do you do if that person isn't willing to listen and understand and hear it from your point of view? And I mean, sometimes the answer is just what she did, is we don't need to be together. This isn't the relationship for me. So, anyway, alright, that's it. That's all. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to send me in a question, a scenario, whatever, you can send it to my Gmail account, which I made specifically for this purpose, which is calamityred@gmail.com. Calamity with a K, not a C. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.